I am Professor Ravinder Kaur, Department of Public Administration, Osmania University, Hyderabad. Coming to the next important aspect, it is the types of coordination. Briefly, we can say that there are 4 types of coordination. One is internal or functional coordination. Second is external or structural coordination. Third is vertical coordination. And fourth is horizontal coordination. Discuss about these different types of coordination still more in detail. The first one, that is internal or functional coordination. It is nothing but the coordination between the activities of different individuals within the organization. Each individual is performing certain tasks in the organization. There have to be a proper coordination between these different individuals who are rendering services to the organization. Secondly, we say external coordination, or which is the structural coordination. It is coordinating the activities of the different units of the organization. If the first one is related to the individuals' tasks, the second one is related to the different units of the organization. So, bringing about coordination between various organizational units can be considered as the structural coordination. External coordination varies from organization to organization. Now we may say, example, say the coordination between the different units. For example, we have the headquarters, the defense headquarters, and the field units. You may have coordination between the center and the states. The coordination between various departments, for example, you have the transport department, or you have the finance department, or you may have the purchase department or the sales department. Coordination varies. Now take for example, if it is a sales, the sales representatives are sent to different areas. If there is no coordination between them, all the 4 salesmen will land up in one particular area. Thereby, they are wasting their own time, and at the same time, the sales are very less. Similarly, when we talk about the finance, when the disbursal of finances have to be done, it should be seen that depending upon the nature of activities of various departments, the financial allocations should take place. So if there is a proper coordination between the departments which require the finances and the finance department, then there will the disbursal of finances can be done in a very easy manner. So coordination to this particular extent also is very important. It may vary from one department to another department, or from one organization to another organization. Coming to the types of coordination, you have vertical and horizontal coordination. The vertical coordination exists, that which you find in various departments. The departmental head is there. He is responsible for bringing about coordination between the various subordinates. Gallik has rightly mentioned in the executive functions that the chief executive is responsible. One of the most important functions of the chief executive is to bring about coordination between the different subordinates in the organization. So all the activities that are undertaken at various levels have to be brought under the control of the superior officer or the chief executive. And he is responsible for bringing about coordination. The horizontal coordination takes sideways. it exists between different units such as production, sales, finance, personnel, etc. There are certain principles of coordination in administration which are as follows. First of all, we say that early introduction is important. When you are thinking of coordination, it must start at the early stages of planning. Coordination is the first principle of organization or the first principle of management. So in that event, when you start planning, at that stage itself, coordination should commence. So the early stage of planning, coordination should take place. Second important principle is that the individual interest versus organizational interest. Now the individual interest versus organizational interest. Integration of these two is very, very important. What is the individual interest? Individual interest is completion of the task assigned to him. Individual interest may be to reach higher levels, that is to get promotions. What is the organizational interest? Organizational interest is to achieve organizational goals. So, an integration of the individual's interests and the organizational goals can be brought about if there is effective coordination. So, coordination is important if the objectives of the organization are to be realized properly. So, all the departments, all the units in the organization, they are interdependent. If the work has to go on smoothly, if every individual owns up the responsibility and performs his task, the work can be accomplished, the goals can be achieved. But each individual cannot do it independently. There is interdependence. One has to depend upon the other persons. So the principle of interdependence. The interdependence is again of three different types. One is pooled interdependence. Now what do we mean by pooled interdependence? Pooled interdependence here refers to the various units in the organization are interlinked with each other. Such interdependence may be responsible for the organization to achieve its goals. So, pooling together the efforts of different individuals is very important. Pooled interdependence is one important aspect. Second is sequential interdependence. See, every activity has to move on in a particular sequence. Now this sequential, for example, when one task is accomplished, the next task begins. Now we may say that when the work is to be done, we have to keep in mind, say, the starting stage, the initial stage. Then you plan, you move ahead. The second man's job may begin. After he has accomplished his task, the third person may may help him to accomplish his task. So work has to move on in a sequential manner. Sequential interdependence is there. There may be many interventions from different sources. You have to see to it that these interventions are meaningful, these interventions are leading to the achievement of the organizational goals. So in that, sequential interdependence is also one important principle in coordination. The next important principle in coordination is reciprocal interdependence. In the reciprocal interdependence, the output of one unit becomes the input for another unit, and that when the task is accomplished, this output becomes the input for the other unit. So in other words, we say that the reciprocal interdependence is such that they are dependent on each other for the completion of the tasks. So the relationship of one unit to the other unit is very, very important. One depends upon the other.